All right, let's get to last night's game. There are so many side stories with the Royals and the Mets, and I think the Royals getting back there after losing in a Game 7 to the San Francisco team is a big story. The pitching's huge, but last night, the first game going to 14 innings, and you have to sit through that. You were working all day. What was the vibe at Kauffman Stadium in a game that goes that long?
Well, first thing, I mean, the Royals, there isn't a better team in baseball that knows how to score late. So you definitely felt like, okay, the Royals are in this no matter what. I don't think anyone could have expected off of Juris Familia, who, by the way, is the most untouchable closer, arguably, in the game today. They had never given up an extra base hit, not even an extra base hit in the postseason. And he gives up that game-tying home run to Alex Gordon in the ninth. I mean, like, insane. In that place, I felt like I was in an SEC football game. It exploded. As much as you expect the Royals to come back, I mean, to tie the game in that moment from your 8-hole hitter was incredibly, unbelievable. But the Mets, I think what I was impressed is they were beating the Royals with their own game, and I was really interested to see, how they kept taking third when Lucas Duda would, beat the shift and get those base hits. They kept taking third base. They just were so smart in the way that they were playing 90 feet at a time that you don't classically see from a team besides the Royals.
She's Jessica Mendoza. She's an Olympian. She's an All-American. She's all Pac-10. She's one of the best softball players our country's ever seen, and she's now a broadcaster for ESPN, covering not only the College World Series, but the first woman to do Major League Baseball. She got to do a no-hitter, and then the first woman to do a postseason, and now an analyst for the World Series, and we are lucky enough to have her called a Central Coast sister, but here on the CJ Silas Show. And one of the questions I was going to ask you, because of course I've been thinking about this, knowing you and I were going to chat today, as I was going to ask you about the closers. And when I saw Wade Davis on the mound, and I'm looking at the Kansas City bullpen, and I had Doug Henry on the show last week. He's a California guy too. And I'm thinking they're unstoppable, they're unbeatable. And I remember Eric Gagne for the Dodgers years ago, and he was one of those guys. And yep. He was one that people were afraid of. I mean, there are a number of them. Randy Johnson, when he was hurt years ago, the Mariners brought him out to close the game at the end of the season when they overtook the Angels in the American League West years ago. I mean, you were probably a kid then, but they're so dominating. And to have that game go that late and to watch on the telecast how many pitchers were left as a baseball mind that you have, Jessica, what are they thinking when it comes to inning 12, inning 13, inning 14, and how to manage that and their personnel? That's got to be tough.
Well, I think they were smart in that they took Wade Davis out, knowing I think they realized that this is going to go longer than just this inning, and we don't have the lead. And they put in Chris Young. And this guy, by the way, I mean, he's a Princeton grad, super, he's that guy. I mean, he's a starter, right? He's game 4 starter, probably not now, obviously, but to be able to go to the bullpen, I talked to him pregame, and he's like, Jess, I'm going out to the bullpen because at the time it was pouring rain. So he was saying, you don't know, if I'm going to be able to be, needed because we might be going through guys because of the weather, delays and that kind of thing. He wasn't obviously expecting it to go that many innings. And I just look at him coming in and just being able to give his team a chance. And the way he doesn't throw in a day when we're talking 98 miles per hour is the norm. He doesn't really touch more than 90, 91. But he does it in a way where his mechanics is 6'10". His just deception in the way he pitches, and God, he was really awesome to watch last night.